Class 10th Chapter 1. Chemical Reactions and Equations. Our chapter starts with changes. In our daily life we see many changes. Changes are of two types: physical changes and chemical changes. Physical changes are those changes which can be reversed. Like for example, when we put water in freezer it becomes ice, and when we keep it outside it again changes to water. On the other hand, chemical changes are not reversible. Like for example, when an iron nail gets rusted it will not come back in original iron nail. Each chemical reaction has two parts: reactant and product. The substance which take part in chemical reaction is called as reactant. The substance which are formed in chemical reactions are called products. Now let us first understand what is chemical reaction. Chemical reaction is that process in which one or more substances, also called reactants, are converted into one or more different substances called products. For example, hydrogen and oxygen react together and form H2O, that is water. In this reaction, hydrogen and oxygen are reactants and water is product. Now let us understand about the changes that occur during chemical reaction. We can see change in state of matter, change in color of substance, change in temperature. Gases can be evolved and formation of precipitate. What is chemical equation? It is symbolic representation of chemical reactions with the help of symbols and formulas. For example, when carbon and oxygen are reacted together, they form carbon dioxide. They are represented by chemical symbols and this is called chemical equation. How to write chemical equations? The reactants are written on the left side and the product is written on the right side. What are balanced equations? These are those equations in which number of atoms in reactants and products are same. Now why do we need to balance chemical equation? Because according to law of conservation of mass, mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in chemical reaction. This will happen only when mass of reactants is equal to mass of products, that is, number of atoms in reactants is equal to number of atoms in products. Now we will study how to balance chemical equations. Suppose for example we have this chemical equation. In this equation iron reacts with water to form iron oxide and hydrogen. But when we see this equation, number of atoms in reactants is not equal to number of atoms in product. So we have to balance this equation. So to balance a chemical equation we will make a table. In one column we will write name of elements. In second column we will write number of atoms in reactants and in the third column we will write number of atoms in product. First we will take iron. It has 1 atom in reactant and 3 atoms in product. Second is hydrogen. It has 2 atoms in reactant and 2 in products. Then is oxygen. It has 1 atom in reactant and 4 atoms in product. First is iron. If we multiply 3 to number of atoms in reactants, it will get equal to number of atoms in products. In hydrogen, number of atoms in reactants and products are equal. Last is oxygen. If we multiply 4 to number of atoms in reactant, it will get equal to number of atoms in products. We know that if any two elements are given in compound form, to balance them we multiply with whole compound. Now if we multiply 4 to H2O, then oxygen will get 4 atoms but hydrogen will get 8 atoms. This will unbalance the equation because hydrogen in products has 4 atoms. So to balance the equation we will multiply 4 to hydrogen in products. This way hydrogen on both sides will get equal number of atoms and equation will be balanced. Our next topic is types of chemical reactions. Chemical reactions are of 6 types. combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction, oxidation and reduction reaction, exothermic and endothermic reaction. Combination reaction. The reaction in which two or more reactants combine to form single product is called combination reaction. For example, burning of coal. When carbon reacts with oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide. Here carbon and oxygen are two reactants which combine to form carbon dioxide. Second is decomposition reaction. The reaction in which single reactant break down to form two or more products is called decomposition reaction. Now the question arises, why is any reactant or substance being broken down? The answer is any reactant or substance is broken down due to some energy. Due to this breakdown, decomposition reaction takes place in three types: thermal decomposition, electrolytic decomposition, and photolytic decomposition. Thermal decomposition reaction. Thermal means heat. So decomposition which is done by heat is decomposition reaction. For example, when CaCO3, which is also known as limestone, is heated, it breaks down into CaO, which is also known as quicklime, and carbon dioxide. Next is electrolytic decomposition reaction. Decomposition which is done by electricity is called electrolytic decomposition reaction. For example, when electricity is passed through water, then it breaks water into hydrogen and oxygen. Third is photolytic decomposition reaction. Photo means light. So the decomposition done with the help of sunlight is photolytic decomposition reaction. For example, when sunlight falls on silver chloride, it breaks down into silver and chlorine. Now the next type of reaction is displacement reaction. The reaction in which more reactive elements displaces less reactive elements from its compounds or solution is displacement reaction. For example, when zinc reacts with copper sulfate, then zinc being more reactive, zinc replaces copper and forms zinc sulfate and separates copper. Next is double displacement reaction. The reaction in which two different ions or group of atoms in the reactant molecules are displaced by each other is called double displacement reaction. For example, when sodium sulfate reacts with barium chloride, then sodium replaces barium from barium chloride and barium displaces sodium from sodium sulfate. Next is oxidation and reduction reaction. To understand it properly, we will study oxidation and reduction separately. So first we will understand oxidation reaction. This is the reaction in which oxygen is added, or hydrogen is being removed, or in which electrons are losing. For example, carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. In this reaction, oxygen is added to carbon and forms carbon dioxide. In next example, hydrogen sulfide reacts with oxygen and forms water and sulfide. In last example, also two electrons are being lost and positive sign is there on zinc. This is also oxidation reaction because two electrons are loose. Now we will understand about reduction reaction. It is opposite to oxidation reaction. In reduction reaction, oxygen is being removed or hydrogen is being added, or the process in which electrons are gaining. For example, potassium chlorate breaks down into potassium chloride and oxygen. This is reduction reaction as oxygen is being removed from potassium chlorate. Another example is when sodium reacts with hydrogen, sodium hydrate is formed. Another example is when two electrons are added. This is also reduction reaction because electrons are added. So any substance or reactant is oxidized, it is called oxidization. Similarly, reduction of any substance or reactant is called reduced. And when both oxidation and reductio takes place together, it is called redox reaction. For example, zinc oxidized plus carbon gives Zn plus Co. In this reaction, zinc oxide is reduced to zinc and carbon is oxide to carbon dioxide. Similarly, in another example, CuO plus H2 gives Cu plus H2O. In this reaction, copper oxide is reduced to copper and hydrogen is oxide to water. So we can say that when any substance gain oxygen or lose hydrogen, it is known as oxidation. On the other hand, when any substance lose oxygen and gain hydrogen, it is called reduction reaction. Now the last reaction is endothermic and exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction is that reaction in which heat is involved. For example, burning of natural gas. When methane is reacted with oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide and water. Large amount of heat is released. Along with this process of respiration is also exothermic because energy is released in the form of heat. Next is endothermic reaction. In this reaction, heat energy is absorbed. For example, when mercury oxide breaks into mercury and oxide, then large amount of heat energy is absorbed. The best example is photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, large amount of heat energy is absorbed. Our last topic is effect of oxidation in our daily life. Oxidation affects in two ways: corrosion and rancidity. First, we will study about corrosion. Corrosion is the phenomenon due to which metals are slowly eaten away by the reaction of air, water and other chemical present in atmosphere. Like for example, black coating on silver, green coating on copper. Corrosion causes damage to car bodies, bridges, iron railings and all those bodies made of iron. Next is rancidity. It is the process of slow oxidation for oil and fat present in the food material. This occurs because oils and fats present in the food slowly oxidize and their smell and taste change. There are some methods which are used to prevent rancidity. First is to keep food in airtight containers. Second is by avoiding to keep cooked food and food materials in direct sunlight. Third is refrigeration of cooked food at low temperature. And by adding antioxidants to the food. Have you ever thought that why chips packets are filled with air? This is because nitrogen gas is filled in the chips packets to prevent them from rancidity.